this third lecture is on the topic diode models, which is a part of diode characteristics. Diode models is also called as diode equivalent circuit. Okay, so that means diode symbol you already know the symbol of the diode, which will have an arrowhead and a bar. Okay, vertical bar. Vertical bar actually represents the cathode and the other side will be anode. So the symbol of the diode you know, but based on the terminal characteristics of the diode, okay, we have to represent how it behaves in its equivalent form by using the other elements like resistor, capacitor, inductor, voltage source, and so on. Okay, so that is the way we have to represent the diode model or diode equivalent circuit. Here, an equivalent circuit is a combination of elements. So equivalent circuit nothing but what the diode is there. Diode how it behaves, what are its characteristics. We have to represent in the form of an elements like resistor, capacitor, inductor, and battery. Okay, whichever are suitable for that particular diode. We have to represent them in terms of these elements. So equivalent circuit means the behavior of that is almost equivalent to the behavior of these elements. So that is what is we call it as diode equivalent circuit. An equivalent circuit is a combination of elements. What are those elements means? These elements can be resistor, capacitor, inductor, or battery. Okay, so these are all the elements that we can use. So to represent these elements are properly chosen. All these elements need not be there. So we have to properly choose these elements to best represent the actual behavior or actual terminal characteristics of the device. Here device means PN junction diode. So PN junction diode, actually the symbol of that is like this. This is your cathode. Generally cathode is represented with K. So though the cathode is starting character is C, it is represented with K. The other side is anode. Okay, so that is represented with A. So this is anode, this is cathode. This is the symbol of the PN junction diode. Okay, now when this symbol is existing in your circuit, when you are analyzing the circuit by applying the theorems and Kirchhoff's laws, how this diode is going to behave, what is its equivalent in place of diode, actually how it behaving. Is it behaving like a battery, or is it behaving like a resistor, or is it behaving like a capacitor or inductor, or how all the combinations of these elements are represented equally so that the behavior of the diode is specified. So to analyze the circuit, we will not be able to use this diode as it is, but the equivalent behavior of the diode we have to use. So the equivalent circuit is a combination of elements properly chosen to best represent the characteristics of a device. Okay, in other words, once the equivalent circuit is defined, the device symbol can be removed. Now what happens if the equivalent circuit is defined for this diode? Now this symbol I will remove, and that equivalent circuit I will replace with this diode. Then it will become easy for me to apply the Kirchhoff's laws, KVL or KCL, or I can apply any theorems to find out the unknown parameters in that circuit. So diode is an element, but I will represent the diode in terms of resistor, capacitor, inductor, or battery, whichever is applicable, and I replace this diode with those elements. Then it will be easy for me to apply these theorems and Kirchhoff's laws in that particular circuit. So once the equivalent circuit is defined, then the device symbol is completely removed from the schematic, and the equivalent circuit is inserted. We have to remove the diode and insert the equivalent circuit. Okay, without severely affecting the behavior of the system. So it is not actually it is not going to affect the entire system behavior. Just a diode is replaced by its equivalent circuit. Equivalent circuit nothing but what? It is almost the behavior of the diode we are representing with. So equivalent circuits are drawn in terms of resistor, capacitor, inductor, and battery, so that the circuits may be analyzed by applying the theorems or Kirchhoff's laws. So the purpose of the equivalent circuit is we have to replace the diode with its equivalent circuit. So then only we can further analyze that particular circuit to find the unknown parameters. So that is the purpose why the diode models or diode equivalent circuits are defined. Now how we can represent this diode? in its equivalent models that we will see. What are the different types of models or equivalent circuits? So there are three forms of models are available. Diode models or equivalent circuits are three forms. The first one is ideal model. Okay, ideal model or ideal equivalent circuit. Model is nothing but equivalent circuit. So wherever model is there, you can even take that model as an equivalent circuit. Okay, ideal model. Then the other one is a simplified model. The other one is piecewise linear model. So there are three types of diode models are available. So ideal model, simplified model, piecewise linear model. So what all these three are actually? So we'll see that. Now, ideal model, first one. Ideal model, nothing but already yesterday's class we have seen the difference between ideal diode and practical diode. So ideal diode, what actually the characteristics of an ideal diode are? It will not have any cut-in voltage. That means the cut-in voltage is zero. The first one, cut-in voltage is zero. This cut-in voltage is also called as knee voltage or cut-in voltage. Knee voltage or cut-in voltage. That is represented by V gamma or Vk. V gamma or Vk. So for ideal diode, the cut-in voltage is zero. Okay. Next, the forward resistance, dynamic forward resistance is also zero, because when in the forward biased condition, how diode behaves actually, this is the symbol of the diode, but if I represent its equivalent behavior in the forward bias, so this is your anode and this is actually its diode. So this is anode, this is cathode. Now symbol is there actually, but I am replacing the symbol with its equivalent behavior. So ideal diode will actually act like a switch. Okay. So in forward bias, the switch is closed. Okay. The switch is closed. So it is like a closed, or it is a short. Forward bias, the switch is closed or it is short circuited. Okay, and the diode current will be flowing. The current will be flowing, which is ID. Okay. Now, when it is reverse biased, what happens? This anode is there, and this is the cathode. This side is cathode. This side is anode. Now, what happens to this? It will act like an open switch. Okay, open switch. So when it is acting like an open switch, the circuit is open circuit, and whatever the current here, in this case is zero. Current does not flow. ID is equal to zero. Whereas in case of forward bias, ID will flow. That means in the ideal diode acts like a switch, simple switch. Forward bias is closed switch. Reverse bias is a open switch. So that's what we call as equivalent circuit. Equivalent circuit, nothing but what? Diode is replaced by a switch. So switch is just a closed switch or open switch, depending upon the diode is forward biased or reverse biased. So the equivalent behavior of the diode in ideal case is it acts like a switch. Closed switch in forward bias, open switch in reverse bias. When it is acting like a switch, there does not exist any barrier potential. Therefore, we need not apply any voltage to cancel that barrier potential across the diode. So as long as you start increasing the voltage across the diode in the forward direction, forward bias voltage, that is positive voltage, the current starts conducting. That means the knee voltage or cut-in voltage is zero, because the barrier potential that is zero, the knee voltage or cut-in voltage is zero. That is the first property of the ideal model. So that is what is V gamma is equal to zero. Then when it is short circuited in the forward bias condition, it is short circuited and the current is flowing. When it is short circuited, what is its resistance in the forward direction? Dynamic resistance is zero. That's why the second one is the dynamic forward resistance or average forward resistance. Dynamic forward resistance is zero. Okay, that is second case. Because it is short circuited, the resistance is zero. Current will flow. Next, coming to the reverse bias, it is an open circuit. Open circuit, nothing but current is zero. If the circuit is open, what is the resistance offered by an open circuited switch? It will be infinity. The resistance is infinity, therefore the circuit is open and the current is zero. If the circuit is short, then the resistance is zero and the current will be large. So in the forward bias, resistance is zero. In the reverse bias, the dynamic reverse resistance will be dynamic reverse resistance. It is reverse resistance is infinity because it is open circuit. So RR is equal to infinity. Okay. So these three are the very important properties of an ideal diode. Okay. So when I am representing ideal model of the diode, ideal model of the diode is an ideal switch. Ideal switch nothing but forward bias is short circuit, reverse bias is open circuit. In that case, the different properties are V gamma is equal to 0, RF is equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity. That means reverse resistance is infinity, forward resistance is 0, and cut-in voltage is 0. These three are the properties. Now, when you are drawing the VI characteristics for this ideal model, so this is the plot here. Forward voltage is taken on the positive x-axis, forward current is taken on the positive y-axis, reverse resistance is taken on the negative x-axis, reverse current is taken on the negative y-axis. So first quadrant is all about the forward bias condition, third quadrant is all about the reverse bias condition. Now for the ideal diode, now already we have seen the practical diode VI characteristics in the previous class. Now we will see ideal diode VI characteristics. The practical diode VI characteristics are, how did we draw? The practical diode VI characteristics will be up to V gamma. Okay, this is V gamma here. V gamma, the current is 0. After V gamma, the current exponentially increases. So this is the graph. In case of reverse bias, what happens? The current is due to minority charge carriers in the reverse bias, and minority charge carrier current is very small, of the order of picoamperes or nanoamperes or microamperes. Therefore, and it is constant with respect to voltage, because the reverse saturation current depends only on temperature but not on applied voltage. Therefore, the graph of that one will be like this. So it will be very small. It comes down like this, and it will be remaining constant. Okay, it will be remaining constant, very small. This is the reverse saturation current represented by I naught. Okay, and that current is constant, a straight line parallel to the x-axis, negative x-axis. So it will be like this. Now this blue color line which I have drawn in both first quadrant and third quadrant, that corresponds to practical diode. So now if you convert that into an ideal diode, you have to apply these three conditions. The three conditions are V gamma is equal to 0, RF is equal to 0, and RR is equal to infinity. Now if you start applying this, V gamma is equal to 0. Now V gamma in this case is for a silicon diode, it is 0.7 volts. Okay. For a germanium diode, it is 0.3 volts. So 0.7 volts for germanium silicon diode, 0.3 volts for germanium diode. This is silicon diode, this is germanium diode. V gamma is equal to 0.7 or 0.3. So, but in case of ideal diode, for both germanium and silicon, it is 0. 0 means what? It should be at the origin itself. It should not take this curve, the line into the x-axis. So it will not go forward till 0.7 volts or 0.3 volts, because V gamma is equal to 0. It should remain the V gamma at the origin itself. If you see this pink color graph, the V gamma is 0 means what? It is at origin itself. That therefore this blue color line which is taking in the practical diode does not exist. V gamma is at origin only. And then RF is equal to 0. Next condition is RF is equal to 0. RF is equal to 0 means the slope of the line is 0. If the slope of the line is 0, then the line will take in the vertical direction, in the positive y direction, that is in the y-axis it will go. If the RF is not 0, then you might have got a graph which is linear to the linear between x-axis and y-axis. So if you take a graph, if this is origin V gamma is equal to 0. Suppose if RF is not equal to 0, then your graph may be linear like this, which has got some slope. But RF is equal to 0 means the slope is 0. So this is having a slope. This is what we call it as a slope. So the slope is existing. Therefore, the graph will be like this if RF is not equal to 0. RF is the slope of the graph here. Why it is slope of the graph? Because resistance is equal to voltage divided by current. Voltage is nothing but what? The reciprocal of the slope. Actually, it is R is equal to V by I. So I can write it as slope is nothing but actually y is equal to mx, right? Y is equal to mx, nothing but what? M is equal to y by x. So here m is nothing but 1 by r. Okay, 1 by r, and y is nothing but I by v. I have to write I by v. This one by r is equal to I by v. Actually, r is equal to v by I, but I'm taking reciprocal of that one, so it will become I by v. So it is m is nothing but 1 by r, and I is nothing but y. Here this is I in the y axis, and x is nothing but v. V is in the x axis. So it is almost like this is m is equal to y by x. So y is on the y axis, I variable. V is on the x axis, v variable, and the slope is 1 by r. So slope is existing. So that means your RF is not equal to 0. So if suppose RF is equal to 0, then you should draw a line which is just on the y axis, vertically going. So that's why the pink color line here shows that RF is equal to 0. RF is equal to 0, therefore it is taking a vertical direction. Next, coming to the RR is equal to infinity. RR is equal to infinity, nothing but what? It will be taking on the x-axis. So reverse resistance is RR is equal to infinity. RR is equal to infinity is taking on to the x-axis. So this graph is on the negative x-axis, straight line passing on the negative x-axis is about RR is equal to infinity. RF is equal to 0 will be because of the slope is 0, therefore it is taking on the vertical direction, and it is taking in the vertical direction from origin because v gamma is equal to 0. So at origin v gamma is equal to 0 here at this point. V gamma is equal to 0, and from there RF is equal to 0, therefore it is taking in the vertical direction, and from there RR is infinity, reverse resistance, it is taking it into the x-axis, negative x-axis. So forward resistance is 0 means y-axis, infinity means x-axis in the reverse direction. So RR is equal to infinity. So according to these three conditions, V gamma is equal to 0, RF is equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity. According to these three conditions, the graph has come like this, which is on the x-axis and y-axis, negative x-axis and positive y-axis, with V gamma is equal to 0 at the origin. So that is the graph. Otherwise, the practical diode you got it as V gamma is equal to 0.7, therefore the curve has moved up to that 0.7 value or 0.3 value, and then it has taken the slope is existing for the practical diode, therefore it is having some exponentially increasing function. And when we are drawing the reverse resistance, reverse diode characteristics, the current is small current is flowing, but that current is constant. Therefore, I have drawn just below the x-axis constantly. But now, in case of ideal diode, the reverse saturation current is also 0. Therefore, I am just drawing on the x-axis itself. This I naught is also equal to 0. I naught is 0 means what? It will not come down. It will just take the line on the negative x-axis itself. So the other fourth property also you can take it, that is I naught is equal to 0. So the reverse saturation current is 0. Reverse saturation current is 0, represented by I naught. So that's why it's not coming down here. It is directly taking it on the negative x-axis. So the pink color graph is for ideal model. The blue color graph is for practical diode or real diode. This is what is practical or real diode. So what are those characteristics of practical diode or real diode? V gamma not equal to 0, RF is not equal to 0, RR is infinity, but it is having I naught is equal to not equal to 0. RR is still infinity only because open circuit, but it is I naught is not equal to 0. It is some nanoamperes or microamperes or picoamperes. Okay, this is practical or real diode. The pink color one is what is ideal diode. Okay, so the ideal model here in this case is switch, closed switch, open switch, simple switch, ideal switch. So next model, simplified model. In the simplified model, actually, the ideal diode which is acting like a switch will be as it is. So that switch will be having resistance is 0, forward resistance is 0, and reverse resistance is infinity as it is. Along with that, the voltage is not 0, it is having its cutting voltage. Therefore, I am keeping the battery in the equivalent circuit as Vk is equal to Vk or V gamma, cutting voltage or knee voltage as 0.7 volts. Now, the extra thing is what the previous case and ideal case and simplified case. Ideal case are, this is ideal, this is simplified, suppose. So ideal V gamma is equal to 0, RF is equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity. Of course, reverse saturation current is 0 in both the cases. Okay, so these three are same. The bottom three are same. RF is 0, RR is infinity, I naught is 0. But only thing is the difference here, V gamma is not equal to 0 in simplified case. V gamma is equal to 0. With that change, what did you observe in the graph? If V gamma is equal to 0, the line should vertically rise in the positive y direction from the origin. But V gamma is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0, nothing but what? This V gamma is not equal to 0. Nothing but what? V gamma is equal to 0.7 volts for silicon, or it is equal to 0.3 volts for germanium. In this case, I have taken silicon diode. Therefore, here 0.7 up to 0.7 volts, it is taking V gamma. This is V gamma. And from there, this V gamma is equal to 0.7 volts, which is not saying that V gamma is not equal to 0. It is 0.7 volts. So therefore, it has come like this up to here from origin. And this line again is stating us that RF is equal to 0. And this remaining line here in the reverse bias is stating that RR is equal to infinity. That are same. Previous case, RR infinity means what line you will get? Just a straight line on the negative x-axis. In the previous case also, what RF is equal to 0, slope is 0 means what you will get? Just a parallel line, line parallel to the y-axis. Here you got line parallel to y-axis because V gamma is not equal to 0. It is 0.7. Therefore, it has come up to 0.7 and taken a vertical line. But in the previous case, V gamma is equal to 0. Therefore, from origin itself, it has taken a vertical line in the positive y direction. Okay. So that is the difference between ideal diode and simplified diode model. Ideal diode is V gamma is equal to 0. Simplified one is V gamma is not equal to 0. It is 0.7 for silicon, 0.3 for germanium. Then the characteristic graph will be like this. The similarity, RF is equal to 0 and RR is equal to infinity, both are same. But only V gamma is not equal to 0. Therefore, it is taking towards 0.7 volts, and then from there it is raising the current in the positive y direction. And this model is also called as a constant voltage model, because at constant voltage of V gamma 0.7 volts or 0.3 volts, the current is increasing. That's why this is called as constant voltage model also. Constant voltage model, or it is also called a simplified model. The first model is ideal model. The second model is simplified model or constant voltage model. The difference between these two models is V gamma is equal to 0 in ideal case. V gamma is not equal to 0 in practical, in this simplified or constant voltage model. Remaining all others, RF is equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity, I naught is equal to 0 are same in both the cases. Okay. So that is about simplified model. So here is V gamma is 0.7 means this will overcome the barrier potential created across the depletion region. But in the ideal case, what is that? Depletion region does not exist in ideal case. Therefore, there is no voltage required for you to cancel that. Therefore, V gamma is equal to 0. So depletion region barrier potential does not exist in the ideal diode, whereas depletion region and barrier potential exists in the simplified model of the diode. That's why V gamma is 0.7 or 0.3 for silicon and germanium we have taken. Next, third model, last model, piecewise linear model. Piecewise linear model is nothing but the diode is again a switch. Okay, the diode is again a switch, but it is not. It is having its internal resistance, forward resistance, that is represented separately as a RAV, average resistance, or you can even take a dynamic resistance of the forward diode. So RAV is approximately low, very low it is. So 10 ohms I have taken. So it is now resistance is not a 0. It is something very low of the order of few tens of ohms. So now when you compare all the three, now first one is ideal, then is simplified. Okay, simplified. Now this is what is piecewise linear. Piecewise linear, in short we call it as PWL. PWL, piecewise linear model. So now piecewise linear model, simplified model, if you compare, in this case V gamma is equal to 0 in ideal case. Simplified case is V gamma is not equal to 0. Therefore, battery is existing in simplified model. Even in the piecewise linear model also, V gamma is not equal to 0. Therefore, battery is existing. So V gamma is equal to 0 means battery is not there in case of ideal model. That was the first model. Next, RF is equal to 0 in case of ideal model. RF is equal to 0 in case of simplified model also. But RF is not equal to 0 in case of a piecewise model. That's why RF is included here in the model. Okay. Battery is there. Not equal to 0 means battery is there. What is that battery? 0.7 volts. RF is not equal to 0 means resistance is there. What is its resistance? Say 10 ohms. So next, RR in all the cases, RR is infinity only. RR is infinity in all the cases. All the cases. That's why there is no change in this portion of the graph. This portion of the graph is related to RR is equal to infinity. If you see all the three graphs in the previous two slides also, this portion of the graph is same. RR is equal to infinity. Just to see in this slide, in the previous slide also, if you see, RR is equal to infinity even in the simplified model also, and here also see simplified model. If you see, RR is equal to infinity. Is there any change in this graph? Pink color line, RR is equal to infinity, same. If you even go with ideal model also, that is also RR is equal to infinity. That will also be same in this case. See this portion of the graph. So if you see this portion of the graph, ideal model RR is equal to infinity. So that is also same. So in all the three models, RR is equal to infinity, which gives a straight line on the negative x-axis. Okay. Next, RF is equal to 0. RF is equal to 0 in ideal case and simplified case, but RF is not equal to 0 in case of piecewise linear. Can you observe the change? If RF is equal to 0, what happens? RF is not equal to 0, what happens? RF is equal to 0 means a vertical line will exist parallel to y-axis or on the y-axis, depending upon V gamma is equal to 0 or V gamma is equal to 0.7. If V gamma is equal to 0 from origin, it takes vertical line on the axis, on the y-axis. If V gamma is equal to 0.7, if V gamma is not equal to 0, V gamma is equal to 0.7, then the vertical line is taking parallel to the y-axis. So from the 0.7 volts. But if RF is not equal to 0, it exists some slope. If there is a slope, then there will be a slant. So the line will not be straight line. There will be a linear line which is varying with respect to voltage and current. So voltage versus current, linear line, nothing but what? It's slant. So you have got a slope here like this. Therefore, slope is due to the low forward resistance. Some slant is there, not a straight line parallel to the y-axis. It is a slope is there. So that slope is because of RF is not equal to 0. It is few tens of ohms. That because of that slope is existing, therefore the slant is there. So remaining thing is V gamma is existing. V gamma is not equal to 0. So that's why the line is existing like this. So V gamma is not equal to 0. RF is not equal to 0. RR is equal to infinity. In all the cases, again, reverse saturation current is 0. Reverse saturation current is 0. Reverse saturation current is 0 in all the three cases. Okay. So these are the three different models. So if you want an ideal model, you have to take these characteristics and represent that. If you want a simplified model, then you have to take these characteristics. V gamma is not equal to 0, RF is equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity, I naught is equal to 0. If you want piecewise linear model, then we have to take V gamma is not equal to 0, RF is not equal to 0, RR is equal to infinity, I naught is equal to 0. Okay. So piecewise linear, the term piecewise linear means if you take any graph between the suppose voltage versus current or time versus voltage, whatever it may be. So if any graph is which is varying linearly, okay, in certain intervals of voltages or time. Suppose if you take a voltage signal, if you take with respect to time, suppose. I will take time on the x-axis, voltage on the y-axis. So the up to say t is 0, this one, t is 1 here, then t is 2 here, then t is 3 here, and so on. So if you see from 0 to 1, this portion of the waveform, 1 to 2, this portion of the waveform, 2 to 3, this portion of the waveform, and after 3 to 4, maybe another portion of the waveform. This is 4. Okay. Then after 4 to 5, some portion of the wave. 5 to 6 is maybe some portion of the waveform. So such type of waveform we call it as a piecewise linear. So how many such pieces are there? This is one piece, 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 and this is one piece. That means some portions of the waveform is varying with respect to the time, and it is keeps changing. So like that, such type of waveforms we call it as a piecewise linear. Here also from 0 to zero point 0.7 is a straight line. Below 0 is another straight line. So after 0.7 some linear graph is there. Like that, three different portions are there. This is one, and this is one. In this case, these two are almost same, but this is different. So therefore, this type of model we call it as a piecewise linear model. So that means the segments of the waveform will be there for a duration of some time. Okay, so that is why this type of model we call it as a piecewise linear model. Okay, so the diodes has got three types of equivalent circuits or three types of models. They are ideal, simplified, and piecewise linear. These three are different from each other depending upon the parameters like cut-in voltage, forward resistance, reverse resistance, and its reverse saturation current. Okay, so based upon that, the characteristics of the diode also varies as per the plots that are represented. Okay, now you can distinguish between a practical diode, ideal diode, simplified diode, piecewise linear model of the diode. So practical is the one which is real. So if you make all the simplifications or the modifications like this, piecewise linear, simplified, ideal, so then you will get according to these